Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. You can hear me, Darce? Okay. I'll do the agenda. Any additions or deletions? Dustin's moving the agenda. Kim?
Thank you, Mr. Reeve. With me today is Caroline Jing, and she's our new operations supervisor. She comes with lots of experience. She worked at Red Deer County, and her last posting was 9 years at Lafarge. Yeah, 9 years at Lafarge. So she has a passion for aggregates and gravel pits. So we're really excited for her to be part of our team. So I just wanted to introduce her to council.
Thank you very much, Council, to invite me to see you. It's a really surprise, and it's very formal and very exciting to work for Cypress County, and hope my experience in municipality and also in those construction industry would contribute to the team and add value to the county. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and welcome to Cypress County. Okay, there's no public hearings. Go on to the minutes. Everybody, what's up? Well, didn't we? Oops. Well, you moved it, didn't you? That was close enough. Vote. Carried. Yeah, it's been so long since we've had a meeting. We don't need to vote anymore, do we? Minutes for the last agenda. Everybody read them? Alf's moving them. Vote. Carried. Go on to 6.1, Terlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before you is bylaw 2021-20, road closure, page 389. Is there any questions?
Dustin.
Move first reading.
Thank you, Dustin. Vote. Carried. 6.2, Terlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bylaw 2021-21, land use amendment, Range Road 60, page 393. Recommendation is for first reading, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Richard.
I'll make that motion.
Richard's making the motion for first reading. Vote. Carried. 6.3, Terlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before you is bylaw 2021-23, land use amendment in Irvin. It was previously before council, and the applicants are applying again, and they have met the time criteria. Recommendation is for first reading. Pardon me?
Shane, you want to move it? You're moving it, Robin? Any questions on this one? Richard?
I read it over, and what's the difference from when it was here the first time?
There really is no difference from the first application. They're just wanting to reapply. When the original public hearing came forward, they weren't available to attend in person. So I think they'd like the opportunity to come in and represent the application on their own rather than their agent.
Okay, so the plan is still to change a commercial site to a residential site beside an existing bar.
That's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Well, we always say we'll give everybody first chance to come in and approach, so.
Yeah, if it's been 6 months, it just doesn't feel like it's been 6 months. So maybe that's just me.
Okay, who did I have make that motion?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Robin? Okay. Okay, vote. That's carried. 7.1, Tarlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. July capital and operating update, page 406. There is substantial attachments. There is background as well. And do you have any questions? The recommended motion is that council receive the July 2021 financial reports for information.
Ernest, you making a motion? You have any questions on it? Anybody else have any questions?
Yes.
Shane?
Let's wait. ABC, page. Yes, here it is. Gotta make it smaller, I can't see the page. On page 8, we got 2 payments to Desert Bloom Golf Club. What are they for? One was, I understood with,
One was for gas and one was for electrical.
it was?
Yeah, they were. Oh, that's loud. One was for the Apex utility. That was a couple months prior,
Yeah.
and then we knew this one was coming, so we put them together on this
Oh,
one. So
okay.
yeah, and I did notice that the resolution. So one's the resolution from 21-250, and then 21-23 319.
Okay,
Richard?
thank you.
I got asked the question yesterday, how the county was making out with the tax revenue for oil and gas companies.
The collection rate?
Pardon me?
The collection rate?
The collection rate. Yeah, that'd be the right word. So
Through the chair, at the end of July, we were at 87% total collection. We're forecasting, so we've got the repayment agreements with a couple companies going on that go to the end of this year. So we're still forecasting that we'll be at about 97, 98% on December 31st of this year. So, which is on par with kind of where we've been traditionally. So at the end of the year, we still expect to be the same, but a little bit different timing on the cash flow throughout the year this year.
Because they're on the tips.
Yeah.
Because they entered into that as part of the agreement.
yeah, okay, that's great.
And
I
there's-
just wanted to verify what I had told them. I said that we had encouraged some of the companies to get on the tip, the monthly programs, and that was saving us a bunch of headaches and also them. So, okay.
And they've honored them so far.
Yeah, so 87% at the end of July, still forecasting to 97, 98 to the end of the year.
That's good. Great. Thank you for that. Good news.
Any other questions? Not seeing any. Call for the vote. Vote. Carried. Number 8. CEO report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before you, I believe in a printout is the CIO report. Do you have any questions?
Dustin?
Things that aren't on the report actually, but I think it's the right time to ask them. I was just wondering if you had an update on the multi-use buildings that we were working on, and then as well as the urban campground.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to give an update on the multi-use buildings. Administration is meeting in next week actually to further review the direction that council had previously provided concerning the hamlets that were selected for the potential multi-use buildings. In addition, we also are looking to address the 1-4 fire station building as part of that. So news to the other administration cohorts, but it's something that needs to also be looked at. So the idea or the aim here is to bring back an RFD to council for the second meeting in September. So.
Anybody on the campground, Terla?
Yep. So we were gonna, so the campground lands, the Lansdowne needs to be rezoned. So that would be the first step. We were going to bring that for council's consideration to this meeting, but there's enough going on probably for today. So that'll come to the next meeting, and working with Stantec to get some preliminary ideas. So that's where we are with that. But the first step is to do the rezoning, because it's residential right now, and we need to, but we're, yeah, temporary residential. So yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Ralph?
Yeah, is our mowing back up and running now, or is it still on hold?
So we are going to reevaluate that with the moisture that we've received. So we do that in consultation with Public Works and Fire Services and the Director of Municipal Services, so that it will be up and going with the weather continues the way it is.
But as of now, it's not. Shane?
So when, like, I noticed when I was hauling hay out of the county of Newell, they were cutting their grass in the irrigation areas because they knew they had a truck behind. They knew that if something got going, it couldn't go far because of all the irrigation and that. Do we try to do the similar or not?
So when it comes to like parks and it's an irrigated area, we use common sense, and those areas can be not specifically if it's in an irrigated area that we would break it down like that, but that's something for future consideration for sure.
And also what they did then is they had all their mowers in one area then. So one would be on the left side, one would be on the right, and
work as a
the
team.
trucks there work as a team, and you were just doing the irrigation areas.
Yeah. Good point. Thank you.
Richard?
I was reading that part about the tablet brackets have been installed in the graders, just a few software glitches. Is that software going to be something that if that road needs gravel or certain sections of it, will the grader operators be able to enter that or take note of it, and then it'll come to you guys? And then you can put a plan together for next spring for graveling?
Yeah, through the chair. Actually, it actually goes in fairly in depth from, if there's a deep freezer in the ditch, you can put that. If the, it's GPS located, so it'll flash for a sign inspection when you come up to your sign. And then same thing with gravel. We're actually prepping to bring it back to council so you can get a full review prior to implementation. So we're just working the bugs out. It's better to work the bugs out before I do the presentation to council. But yeah, that's planning on coming in the very near future, so you can see what kind of capacity they'll bring to our graders.
Okay, and I just look at that gravel part of it because I can see that, or I think that it's something we have to stay on top of. And how else do you get the information other than where the best information is from the grader operators, right? And then you'll know for next spring if you have to really concentrate on gravel versus something else, right?
And that's a good point. So some of this program is that it'll identify, you'll put on there where you want the gravel to start and then to finish. So it'll gather those points. And the difference is that currently what we do is they'll get a map and then just highlight the whole mile, right? And so this will be able to isolate some of those trouble spots a little bit better.
I like it. I think it's great. I do drive down the gravel roads and then I see we're probably 2 loads of gravel is all we need on that whole mile. So I think it's great. We're moving forward.
Anybody else? Dustin made the first question, so he can make the motion. Not seeing any other questions? Vote. Carried. Reeve and council reports. Start with you, Dustin.
It's been a fairly quiet month, actually. It's been pretty nice. A couple guys phoning about some different road complaints or concerns, but besides that, it's been quite quiet.
Okay, Robin?
I think I was getting some of the same phone calls for the road concerns, but you know what, staff responded very quickly to those as well. So kudos to them on that. Other than that, yeah, council-wise, it's been pretty quiet. Not so much for the next month, though.
Sure.
Had several Cypress U meetings, a shortgrass meeting. I was at when the Minister of Finance was at Ralph's, I went to that. That was about it.
Shane?
Yeah, pretty quiet month, dealing with also road complaints of grading too much, and some people sure don't like our MG30. Sure turns ugly when it rains.
Richard?
On Tuesday, the 27th, I attended a small meet and greet with Finance Minister Travis Taves. Our Reeve Dan was there. I liked the setting because it was like 20 people, and so you're pretty comfortable in there. And Dan did a great job talking to the minister about Halo, and then I got my turn. So he definitely got the message about financing Halo. On Tuesday, the 17th, I started out with a meet and greet with Associate Minister of Red Tape with Reduction is Tanya Furr. Again, just a small group, about 20 people. And Michaela was there and she opened up the floor. So then I got another chance to do Halo. And Michaela was quite, I'm trying to think of the right word, but basically said that we need Halo, she needs Halo, or there could be a change. So that was great, right? And yes, Carolyn was with me on that one.
Yeah, no, there's strong support in the community for Halo, and I believed it was shared very intensely with that minister and with MLA Glasgow.
Mm-hmm. And then the first meeting was at 4:30, and then at 6 o'clock I went to the Stampede grounds to represent Cypress County for the presentation of the proposed new event center. Small group, it was very good, and I have some information if anybody wants to read it over. They do want to do a presentation to the council because, of course, we know that they're looking for funding, and in order to get matching funding, they need some money. So I said to let Leslie Ann know when the time comes, when they think they're ready. But it's something that I think we need to discuss prior to our next budget, which I wasn't sure when that happens. I just couldn't remember. Do we do that in the spring or is it this fall?
So it's administration's hope that a draft budget will be presented to council on the 21st of September.
Okay, so I will send an email to Leslie Ann that we get it on the agenda to talk about it, okay?
Yeah, and so the draft will be presented to the second meeting in September, and then it's presented back again in December for final approval because we have to have an approved budget for January 1st. And then the mill rate bylaw is done in May. So there's some ability to move again.
Yeah, I just would I'd like to get it done sooner or later to find out if council is willing to participate so that the Stampede board knows what and to what degree we're willing to participate. And other than a few phone calls for different things, yeah, life is good.
Alf?
Yeah, nothing to report. Everything's pretty quiet, so.
Ernest?
Met with with several other rests with the Minister of Transportation. And other than that, couple 3 days of prairie fire suppression, and that was about my month.
Okay, thank you, Ernest. I had, well, I met with a few ministers, like Richard said, was with Mr. Taves and a couple other ones, and it was pretty good. We had some talks about Halo. We had some talks about Cypress Hills. So, and they seem to be listening a little. I did learn one trick from Robin. I went to his assistant, not just the minister himself. So you got a rapport with him, except I can't remember his name right now, but his card's sitting at home. But other than that, yeah, same as the rest of you guys, just busy with summer stuff. Darcy?
Nothing new. Went out and played on the 8th of August, been locked up since that. So not much new.
It's just home arrest. You're okay.
Poor Lori.
Poor Lori.
Okay, Richard's moving the reports. Any questions? Vote. Carried. We got here. We'll go with 10.1, Terlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Request for a new public hearing, bylaw 2021-17. On page 437 is the letter from All Land Matters. There was a public hearing held on July 6th. An individual came in and he was participated via Skype, and he was verbally presenting, and so the other participants were by written submissions, and so the applicant feels that they would like to have a new hearing, so it's fair and equitable. The recommendation is that council direct administration to proceed with a new public hearing for bylaw 2021-17. If there was a judicial review, what the decision would be is that the worst that would happen is that we do a new public hearing. So I would recommend highly that a new public hearing takes place.
Shane's making that. Robin, did you have something, or you were just making the motion?
Question.
Okay, go ahead.
Unless you have a comment.
Okay.
I guess my question is that, you know, Dan's done a good job at these public hearings with regards to ensuring that everybody's been heard, and then asking the question, do you feel like you've had a fair opportunity to make your case? And so if we go through that process and people don't make a statement at that moment saying, no, it isn't fair, aren't we just opening up for anybody? And then we're setting precedent for anybody that might bring something forward. And I think you could argue that at any point, somebody could say, well, you know, we're going to bring this to judicial review, therefore we should just do another hearing. So to me, I think that, honestly, I think that we should say no to this. I feel that if you had written submissions, you know, just because they're written doesn't mean that you don't need to be present. And if they were given the opportunity to comment that they didn't feel like they had a fair opportunity to be heard and then to reply, I don't like the precedent that this sets.
Ernest?
I agree with Robin, and if it goes to judicial review, let it go to judicial review, and we'll know whether we're right or wrong. And if we have to have another hearing, then we'll have another hearing.
Michelle?
I think I kind of agree. To me, it seems like the only reason they want another hearing is because that guy showed up and got to go on Skype and they didn't. So I think that they had every opportunity to do what they needed to do.
Any other comments? Darcy, you got anything?
I think we did everything right and I don't see another reason for another one, so I'll move to say no.
Oh, Shane already moved to accept it, but we can defeat it if that's the way it's gonna go. Okay, so I have a motion on the floor to have another public hearing. Any more questions on it? Vote to have one. Well, that would be not carried. So the motion is defeated, so there won't be a public hearing. Okay, we got 2 minutes before we're going to start our delegation, so we'll take a 2-minute break and then we'll go into that.